चेंज द ऑर्डर। अगर आपने कभी नोटिस किया हो तो बहुत सारी चीजों को हर रोज सेम ऑर्डर में करते हैं, एक पर्टिकुलर तरीके में करते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर ब्रश करते हैं तो हाथ फिक्स होता है, राइट या लेफ्ट हैंड से ब्रश करते हैं। जूता पहनने वक्त भी कोई एक पाँव हम पहले आगे करते हैं। वॉलेट की पॉकेट भी सेम होती है, हमारे पैसे रखने की, हमारे हैंकी की पॉकेट भी सेम होती है। अब आप कुछ दिन के लिए उल्टा कीजिए। मान लो अगर ब्रश राइट हैंड से करते थे तो अब लेफ्ट हैंड से करना शुरू कर दो। अगर राइट पॉकेट में वॉलेट रखते थे तो अब लेफ्ट पॉकेट में रखना शुरू कर दो। अगर जूता पहनने वक्त राइट पाँव पहले आगे करते थे, उसमें पहले डालते थे, तो अब लेफ्ट पाँव में पहले डालना शुरू कर दो। इस ऑर्डर को चेंज करने के पीछे कारण को समझो। आज तक जब हम सेम चीजें करते जा रहे थे, हमेशा राइट पाँव आगे गया, उस पर सॉक्स आए, शूज आए, लेसेस बंद हुए, तो ये सारा कुछ ऑटोमेटिक चल रहा था, माइंड की कंफर्ट से चल रहा था। माइंड को इजी सिग्नल्स जा रहे हैं और काम होता जा रहा है ऑटोमेटिक। लेकिन जैसे आपने ऑर्डर चेंज किया, लेफ्ट पाँव आगे कर दिया, माइंड के लिए कुछ नया हो रहा है। नहीं, पहले सॉक्स इधर डालनी है, पहले शूज इधर डालनी है, पहले लेसेस इधर बंद करनी है, ब्रश उल्टा करना है। इन चीजों से माइंड को एक्टिव रहना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि उसकी पुरानी कंडीशनिंग टूट रही है। उसको अलर्ट रहना पड़ेगा। जितना आपका माइंड अलर्ट रहता है, एक्टिव रहता है, उतना आपकी इंटेलिजेंस बढ़ती है। एंड कुछ दिन बाद जब इस चीज की भी आदत पड़ जाए तो फिर ऑर्डर बदल दो। मतलब माइंड को हमेशा अलर्ट रखना, कुछ दिन राइट, कुछ दिन लेफ्ट, माइंड हमेशा अलर्ट रहेगा, IQ आपका शूट करता जाएगा। सेकंड,
this is one tip to increase the intelligence of our mind. To concentrate our mind, to prepare us for the learning of this video tutorial, first of all we are presenting a slide of spiritualism in front of you, so that you can concentrate on that topic very well. Now I am going to respect all my faculty members, my dear students, my dear brothers and sisters, and my elders and youngers, all those who are watching this video. I welcome all of you once again. We are going to start our topic with a famous Sanskrit sloka, कार्य काले समुत्पन्न सा विद्या न तद्धनम। अर्थात पुस्तक में विद्या तथा दूसरे के हाथ में गया धन दोनों ही जरूरत के समय हमारे किसी भी काम नहीं आया करते हैं। इसीलिए पुस्तकों में निहित ज्ञान को आपके समक्ष इस पावर पॉइंट और वीडियो ट्यूटोरियल के माध्यम से अवतरित करना चाहता हूं। एक बार पुनः सादर नमस्कार आप सभी को। टुडे आवर टॉपिक इज द कैनाल सिस्टम इन पोरिफेरा, which is very well known topic in the BSc classes, as it includes the first paper of the invertebrates. I think this topic and today's discussion is not only useful for the BSc classes, but it is equally important and useful for the all those students who are actively engaged and who are interested in the learning zoology and doing MSc classes. The canal system of Porifera is very well known topic in the sponges. All the cavities of the body transverse by the current of the water, which nourishes the sponges from the time it enters by the pores until it passes out by the osculum, are collectively termed as canal system. In Olianthus, canal system is seen in its simplest type. In other forms, it may attain a high degree of complexity, but its general evolution can nevertheless be reduced to simple process of growth on the part of primitive Olianthus, resulting in folding of the walls and accompanied by the restriction of the colloid choanocytes cells to the certain regions. In the gradual and continuous process of differentiation, three distinct types of organization can be distinguished. which connected by numerous transitions may yet be considered as three styles of architecture. So to speak, under which all the existing forms may be classified. There are usually three types of canal system met within the spongage. These are asconoid type, syconoid type and leuconoid type. The simplest form of the canal system found in the poriferans is the asconoid type of canal system. Here is the slide. You can see it. Asconoid type of canal system is the simplest of all types. In this, there is a radially symmetrical vase-like body consists of a thin wall enclosing a large central cavity spongiocele. This is spongiocele opening at the summit by the narrowed osculum. This spongiocele is opening by this osculum. The wall is composed of an outer and inner equilibrium with a mesenchyme between. The outer dermal epithelium, here termed as epidermis. This is the epidermis. This epidermis consists of a single layer of flat cells. The inner epithelium, this one is inner epithelium, lining of the spongiocele is composed of choanocytes. The mesenchyme in between these two, epidermis and gastrodermis, these mesenchyme contain skeletal spicules of several types of amoebocytes, all embedded in the gelatinous matrix. The wall of sconoid sponge is perforated by numerous microscopic apertures which are known as ostia. The ostia are also known as incurrent folds, which extend from the external surface to the spongiocele. Each fold is intracellular. It is a canal through a tubular cell called a porocyte. The water current impelled by the flagella of the choanocyte passes through the incurrent folds into the spongiocele and out through the osculum. So these are known as incurrent folds. Water current from the outside entered through the incurrent pore into the spongiocele, and from the spongiocele the water current passed outside from the osculum. This water column furnishing its passage food, oxygen and carrying away metabolic waste. Asconoid type of canal system is found in few sponges. Olianthus stages of the sponge, Leucosolenia. According to Hyman, the important feature of the asconoid structure are the simple wall and the complete continuous lining epithelium of choanocytes, interrupted only by the inner ends of the porocytes. The asconoid type of sponge superficially resembles a typical gastrula. The second one type of canal system is known as syconoid type of canal system. Syconoid type of canal system is the first stage above the asconoid type. It is formed by the outpushing of the wall of an asconoid sponge at the regular interval into the finger-like projection called radial canals. These are the finger-like projections or the radial canals. At the first, these radial canals are three projections, and the outside water surrounds their whole length, for there are no definite incurrent channels. But in the most syconoid sponges, the wall of the radial canal fuse in such a manner as to leave between them tubular space, the incurrent canal. Tubular space or the incurrent canal, which opens to the exterior between the blind outer ends of the radial canals by the apertures termed dermal ostia or dermal pores. Dermal pores from the outside opens into the radial canals, which again goes into the incurrent canal. Since these incurrent canals represent the original outer surface at the sconoid sponge, they are necessarily lined by epidermis. Radial canals, being the outpushing of the original spongoceles, are necessarily lined by choanocytes. These radial canals, here shown by the dark line, they represent the choanocytes. Actually, in the sconoid type of canal system, the spongocele is lined by the choanocytes. This spongocele, due to the out pushing, restricted into the radial canals. These are the choanocytes lined radial canal. Radial canal, being the out pushing of the original spongocele, are necessarily lined by the choanocyte and are therefore better called flagellated canals. The interior of the syconoid sponge is hollow and form a large spongocele which is lined by the flat epithelium derived from epidermis. This is central cavity or spongocele. This spongocele is lined by the epidermis. The opening of the radial canals into the spongoceles are termed as internal ostia. These radial canals opened into the spongocele through this pore, and these pores are known as internal ostia. These are the internal ostias. The syconoid sponges retain the radial waste from the sconoid, and the spongoceles opens to the exterior by the single terminal osculum. The wall between the incurrent and radial canal is pierced by numerous minute pores called prosophiles. Radial canal, these are the minute pores. Incurrent canal and radial canal, in between these two canals, these are the minute pores known as prosophiles. The water current in the syconoid sponge takes the following route: the dermal ostia or the dermal pores, to the incurrent canal, from incurrent canal through the prosophile into the radial canal to internal ostia, it comes into the spongocele, and from spongocele it's back to the outside through a big pore known as osculum. So the route is dermal pores, incurrent canals, prosophiles, radial canals, internal ostia, apophiles, spongoceles, osculum, and out. The syconoid sponge differ from the sconoid type in two important particulars. First, in the thick folded walls containing alternating incurrent and radial canals, and second, in the breaking of the choanocyte layer, which no longer lines the whole interior but is limited to the certain definite chambers of the radial canals. The syconoid structures occurs in two main stages. The first type illustrated in a few of the heterocellous calcareous sponges, especially members of the genus Sycon. In the second stage, the epidermis and mesenchyme spread over the outer surface, forming a thin wall or the thick cortex, often containing special cortical spicules. The epidermis becomes pierced by more definite pores, leading to the narrowed incurrent canals. The third type of the canal system is known as leuconoid type of canal system. This is one of the example of leucon type of canal system or the leuconoid type of canal system. As a result of the further process of outfolding of the coinocytes layers and thickening of the body wall, the leuconoid type of the canal system develops. The coinocytes layer of the radial canal of the syconoid stage evaginates into the many small chambers, and these may repeat the pores. So the clusters of the small rounded or oval plated chambers replace the elongated chambers of the syconoid sponge. The elongated chambers of the syconoid sponge are known as radial canal. Here the radial canals becomes the small rounded chambers or which are lined by the coinocytes, so that they are known as the flagellated chamber. The coinocytes are limited to these chambers, and mesenchyme fills in the spaces around the flagellated chamber. These portions surrounding the small rounded flagellated apertures is the portion of the mesenchyme. Spongocele is usually obliterated and the whole sponge becomes irregular in structure and indefinite in forms. The interior of the sponge becomes permeated by many incurrent and excurrent canals. These are the incurrent canals, apophyles, and these once again becomes the excurrent canal. Incurrent canals, flagellated chambers, excurrent canal. The excurrent canals joins to form a larger excurrent canal, and the spaces which leads to the oscula. The surface, these smaller excurrent canals joined this bigger one excurrent canals which opens outside from the osculum. The surface is covered with the epidermal epithelium and is pierced by many dermal folds, ostia and oscula. The dermal folds lead to the incurrent canals that branch irregularly through the mesenchyme. The incurrent canals lead to the small rounded flagellated chamber by opening, still termed prosophiles. The flagellated chamber opens by the aperture called apophyles into the excurrent canals, and these unite to form larger and larger tubes, of which the largest lead to the oscula. The main characteristics of the leuconoid type of canal system are the limitations of the coinocytes to the small chambers, the great development of the mesenchyme, and the complexity in the incurrent and excurrent canal. The course of water in the dermal ostia, to the incurrent canal, dermal ostia, incurrent canal, then prosopis if present, prosopis to the prosophiles, prosophiles to the flagellated chamber, flagellated chambers to the apophyles or aphodas if present, to the excurrent canal. The excurrent canal joins the larger canal or larger channels, and from here to the osculum out. The Leucon type of canal system is very efficient, and the most sponges are built on the leuconoid plan, and they attain a considerable size. They are always irregular in structure, but like the flow of the currents of the water is fairly rapid and efficient. The Leucon type of canal system exhibits numerous variations, but presents three stages of the evolution: Eurypylus type, apodal type, and diplodal type. This is the example of Eurypylus type of canal system of a Leucon type. The Eurypylus, in the Eurypylus Leucon type of canal system, the flagellated chambers are wide and thimble shaped, each opening directly into the excrement canal. This flagellate chamber open into the excrement canal by a wide aperture called apophyles. So these are the apophyles. These wide aperture of the flagellated chamber is known as apophyles, and receive the water supply direct from the increment canal through the prosophyles. These flagellated chamber receive water from this aperture of the increment canal. This is known as prosophyles. The current of water takes the following route: from the dermal pores to the ostia to subdermal space, incurrent canal, then incurrent canal to the prosophyles in flagellated chamber, from apophyles to the excrement canal, and then spongiocele to the oscula out. This type of canal system is found in Lucilla. Second type of canal system is apodal type. The apodal type of canal system is a type of canal system, Leucon type of canal system. In the apodal leuconoid type of canal system, the flagellated chambers are small and rounded. These are the flagellated chamber, small and rounded. The opening of each flagellated chamber into the excrement canal is drawn out into a narrow tube, usually not of the great length, termed apodus. The characteristics of the apodal type of Leucon type canal system is the presence of small tubular pipe which arises from the flagellated chambers and opens to the excrement canal. This is known as apodus. This one is apodus. This one is also apodus. The relation of the flagellated chamber to the incurrent canals remain as before. The route of the water is as follow: from the dermal pores, ostia to the subdermal spaces to the incurrent canal to the prosophyles in the small rounded flagellated chamber, from flagellated chamber to tubular pipe is known as apodus. This apodus to the excrement canal, and excrement canal, this excrement canal again is open to the spongiocele and then oscula to arm. This type of canal system is found in Geodia and Stellata. The third and last one type of canal system is a diplodal type of canal system. Is also one example of the Leucon type of canal system. This is also a complex one type of canal system. In some cases, there is also a narrow current tube, the prosodus between the incurrent and flagellated chamber. This is the dermal pore, subdermal spaces, incurrent canal. Incurrent canal opens into the flagellated chamber. So again a tubular tube is formed This tube is also known as prosodus. The presence of prosodus is the characteristics of the diploidal type of canal system. Incurrent canal flagellated chamber, such as condition called diploidal. This type of canal system found in Oscarella and Spongilla, etc. The current of the water takes the following route: dermal pores or the ostia to the subdermal spaces, incurrent canal to the prosodus, flagellated chamber, from the apodus to the excurrent canal to spongiocele, and oscula to the out. The Ragone type is also one type of canal system found in poriferans. In calcarean sponges, the leuconoid structure may be attained a way of asconoid and syconoid cells, but in Demospongia, it is derived from a stage termed as Ragone, which is in turn arise by direct rearrangement of the inner cell mass. The Ragone type of sponges has a broad base and it is conical in shape with a single osculum at summit. The basal vase is termed the hypophyre, which is devoid of flagellated chamber. The upper wall bearing a flow of smooth oval flagellated chamber is called spongiophyre. Spongiocele is bordered by an oval flagellated chamber opening into it by a wide apophyse. Because the chambers and the epidermis lies a considerable thickness of mesenchyme, transferred by the incurrent canals and subdermal spaces. Dermal pores or the ostia opens to the subdermal spaces, which extends below the entire surface of the body. Branching incurrent canals leads to form the subdermal spaces into the small flagellated chambers, which have been formed by the breaking down of radial canals. The flagellated chambers alone are lined by coenocytes. From the flagellated chambers, excurrent canals lead into the spongiocele. The incurrent and excurrent canals may be complex or the branched. The spongiocele opens by a single osculum. The course of current of water in the ostia, subdermal space, incurrent canal, prosophiles, flagellated chambers, apophyles, excurrent canals, spongiocele, osculum and out. The functions of the canal system. The canal system helps the sponges in nutrition, respiration, excretion and reproduction. The current of water which flows through the canal system brings the food and oxygen and takes away the carbon dioxide, nitrogen waste and feces. It carries the sperms from one sponge to the another for fertilization of the ova. The canal system also increases the surface area of the sponge in contact with the water and thus enables the sponges to increase their volume, as the surface volume ratio must remain fixed. This is all about the canal system of the poriferans. Thanks a lot. Be with us and watching next few videos which are equally important and useful for my all viewers and watchers. Once again, thanks.